seemed like you were targeting Dwayne Stanford a lot tonight. Has that relationship between you guys been growing, and what have you seen out of him in the past couple of weeks that he's really improved on?
I mean, yeah, he's made big play after big play. You know, and it's fun because this entire offense is just starting to click. And you know, with these young receivers that are kind of stepping up now and kind of getting a bunch of games under their belt, they're all playing well. And you know, for us, it's always a confidence booster when you're going out there and playing well. So each receiver is playing well. Dwayne, it was kind of his night. You know, the last couple of weeks, and you know, those guys are unselfish and they understand that, you know, each guy will have this opportunity, and you know, they really just kind of enjoy that, and they kind of thrive in it. So the guys have done well this last couple of weeks, and we got to look forward to getting better.
Bryce Freeman and Byron Marshall are in the hallway.
Marcus,
you took a pretty good hit.
Second season in a row, that interception's been kind of fluky. There was that one in Arizona where a guy's going out of bounds and scoots it back in, and this one was tipped at least twice before it fell into a guy's hands. So is that a mistake, or is that just you shrug your shoulders and go, wow?
Mixture of both. I was definitely on the wrong side in that play. You know, I had Farrell open down the middle. I could have just been patient and moved on in my read. But you know, sometimes when you force throws like that, that happens, and you know, just got to learn from it. You know, that's the main thing. And obviously, Coach Huffridge, his you know, his thing was just kind of flush it and move on. I mean, it happens. It's part of the game, and I'm not too worried about it.
You haven't thrown a pick. Do you ever feel like you need to keep that going? Do you feel like you need to be perfect, or does it give you more confidence that, like, hey, I can make this throw? Like, is it at all a good thing that that streak is done with?
I mean, I haven't even put much thought into it. So, you know, it's an interception, and for me, it was a turnover, and especially in the red zone, that's always crucial. And you know, when games are closer like that, and that gives up points, that's huge. So. Obviously, just got to learn from it. You know, but throughout the season, I wasn't worried about it. Just kind of playing my game.
How much did that, when that guy hit you out of bounds, did it scare you a little bit, or did it hurt a little bit, or taking a shot like that?
Not at all. It's part of the game. You know, the guy was, you know, trying to make a play. You know, it's always tough when you're kind of in between out of bounds and on the field. So, you know, the guy was just trying to make a play. You know, I could have done a little better, probably just protecting myself. But, you know, it was fine. It was a football hit, and, you know, I'm good.
Are you getting better at sliding or knowing when you should slide, or evaluate your slides? Some of them seemed a little hold your breath.
Yeah, for me, I've gained a lot of confidence in sliding over the last year or so. You know, for me, when I first got here, I was always kind of diving with my head first. And, you know, sliding's kind of an easier way to kind of protect yourself. Sometimes, you know, when you slide, some guys are going to hit you, and it's kind of part of the game. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten better at it. You know, it's going to help me kind of protect myself throughout my career, and you know, I've gained a lot of confidence in it.
What you see in that Byron Marshall play? You know, you guys led 38-28, had the ball coming out in the second half. That was a big play because they had some momentum going into the half. What did you see on that play?
You know, man, it was 3rd and 21. They kind of all played back. You know, there's basically what we call 53 double heads, or everyone's kind of deep, and Mike linebacker's kind of playing in between the two safeties, and they just try to cover everybody, and they drop 8. You know, our receivers have been running good dig routes all year, and it just so happened that safety kind of bit on the dig route by Dwayne, and Byron was able to run by the corner. And you know, heads up play by Byron, because you know that's stuff that we don't really practice, but you know, it's awesome when you can kind of execute and all be on the same page.
How much is Byron involved in this offense over, you know, the 3 years you guys have been here together?
Oh, he's a huge part of this offense, and you know, that guy is such a versatile player that we have to find ways to get him the ball. And you know, whether it's running, you know, having him line up at receiver and bringing him back and handing him the ball off, or you know, finding ways to get him in space and getting him the ball through the air. I mean, there's got to be. You know, the Coach Frost and Coach Huffridge are always finding ways to get him the ball because he's so versatile and really good athlete for us.
Played in an NFL stadium tonight. Is that something that you gauged, or is it just the same mentality as, you know, throwing at the practice field at Hatfield down?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't let these moments be too big for you. And you know, for me, I was able to kind of take pictures. My dad and my brother are huge Niner fans, so I made sure to take pictures for them and send it to them. But other than that, you know, it's just same old game and just play our game.
The initial thoughts on Stanford?
Oh man, honestly, I haven't put much thought to it. You know, just kind of enjoying this win. But you know, we'll get back to work right when we get back in Eugene.
If I interrupt just a second, we've got Don Pelham, Royce Freeman, Dwayne Stanford, Pharaoh Brown are all out here.
Thank you.
What about going against that? How do you beat that defense, Marcus? Stanford's defense. They don't do much different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they got a solid front seven. Their back end has played really well this year. I think they're leading the Pac-12 in pass coverage. So, you know, we're going to have our hands full, but we're just got to go out and execute to the best of our abilities, get a good week of practice, and go into the game feeling confident.
You guys on offense at all when the defense, I don't want to word it wrong, not that the defense is giving up points, but that you're in a shootout where you guys can go out and have more meaningful drives and not be done early?
It's definitely a mixture of both. You know, obviously we want to see our defense play well and get stops, but for a lot of us, it's fun to go out there and continue to play. I mean, this game is so much fun to play, and when the offense is rolling, you know, it's an awesome deal to be a part of. And obviously, you know, like I said, we want our defense to play well, but it's also fun to kind of get in and keep playing.
Byron Marshall's out here too. Anybody who wants to talk to Byron? If not, I'm letting him go.
Last question, Marcus. You've never been one to really worry about numbers, but tonight you become the all-time passing leader at Oregon. You passed Bill Musgrave. Can you appreciate what that means, what that accomplishment is?
Yeah. Actually, you're the first person to tell me that. So, you know, it is definitely pretty special. You know, there's so many great quarterbacks that have played at this university, and to even be mentioned with those guys, it's truly an honor. So, you know, just got to move on to next week, kind of enjoy it for a little bit and get better.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.